Derek Chisora, Del Boy, has just defeated Otto Wallin via unanimous decision. What a way to end his UK boxing career. He's now done in the UK. That was the last dance in the UK. He'll probably have his 50th fight in Africa and end it there. But yeah, emotional night for Derek Chisora. He gets the job done. Very convincingly as well. Judges' scorecards: 117 to 111, 116, 110, and 114 to 112. Get out of here. 114, 112. Chisora dominated that fight. In my opinion, he won 118 to 110. It was that dominant from Derek Chisora. 114 to 112 is a crime. If it wasn't for that final knockdown, it would have been a bloody draw. And it wasn't for the first knockdown, he would have had bloody Wallin winning the fight. So it would have been a split decision. But we got the right winner in Derek Chisora. He deserved the win. And we moved that. That is exactly what should have happened. But yeah, let's be real. That fight showed Chisora's heart and that he's an absolute warrior, and that he's amazing for British boxing. It was clear, he's very clearly slowed down, but he won the fight. He won the fight. That's the most important thing. Neither him or Wallin are top-level guys. They know this now. I don't know why it was like an IBF title eliminator, because that was not the case at all. But yeah, I said it might be a sloppy fight, and it was. But Chisora won a sloppy, scrappy fight. And that's what's entertaining about Derek Chisora, though. He slugs it out. He beats you in a fight. He doesn't come to box you. He, comes to beat you in a fight. And that's exactly what Chisora says as well. Chisora, a big reason why everyone loves Chisora is because he talks how he fights. And that's what we saw there today. He talks how he fights. We see that every single time. So, yeah. Yeah, I thought Chisora was dominant there. Chisora was good with his jabs to the body. That was very promising throughout the fight. The jab to the body, overhand as well. It was strange in my opinion, though, because Chisora actually came out and fought as a southpaw, which was strange. But it works. It works. And it made sense because, Wallin's a southpaw, so Chisora chose to match that. Never in a million years would I thought Chisora would have came out and tried to match Wallin as a southpaw. I didn't think I'd bloody see that, but I feel like a good thing about that as well for Derek Chisora is that, bringing out that overhand left, which was good, but the overhand right was also available for Derek Chisora throughout the fight. So we were seeing a lot more accurate, better, cleaner work, good combinations, good explosive moments from Derek Chisora in that fight. The knockdown in round 9 is one of the most funniest knockdowns I think I've ever bloody seen. It was a brilliant shot. Wallin went bloody stumbling and fell. It was a bloody class knockdown, that first one, and then dropped him again in the 12th round. And what a final shot that was for Derek Chisora in a UK fight. It's just the best way to end. Derek Chisora going out on a fairy tale ending. It's what we love to see at the end of the day. It's what we love to see. Chisora going out on a fairy tale ending. That's the kind of thing that we wanted and needed to see from him. And that's exactly what we saw. Body work was fantastic from Chisora. He was smothering his work nicely as well at times. The jab was better than I thought it would be from Chisora. The jab from the body was great. The jab upstairs was constantly snapping the head back of Otto Wallin as well. But yeah, it was scrappy at times later on, and it was like the 10th and 11th round where Chisora kind of slowed down and walked onto shots, but Wallin did absolutely nothing and was literally not throwing shots with any intention whatsoever because Chisora massively slowed him down. And I do think a big thing about that and Otto Wallin's performance in general is I don't think he was expecting the volume that Derek Chisora actually brought into the fight. I mean, remember like the blade 15, 16 punch combination that Chisora threw in that like 8th round, for example. Like Wallin wasn't expecting that kind of thing from Derek Chisora in that fight with the constant volume and Derek Chisora actually being able to fight at a pace that overwhelmed Wallin. I was not expecting that coming to the fight. And I don't think that's what Wallin was expecting either. So I think that was something that massively put Otto Wallin off his game, because he wasn't expecting the accuracy and, you know, the constant pressure of Derek Chisora and the constant volume of Chisora that, you know, massively overwhelmed Otto Wallin. Like, Wallin wasn't expecting that, so Wallin couldn't get his game going. Wallin, I think it was clear to see from his game as well, from how he fought in the 10th and 11th, that he thought Chisora was going to fight at a much slower pace than what he did in that fight. So that kind of screwed over Wallin. But either way, though, what were you doing, though, Otto? Don't want to see him in the ring again. But yeah, I think, I mean, it was strange though, because the commentators were saying throughout, like, they're Blade Delusional, saying, oh, Chisora's put on a boxing masterclass here. That was far from a boxing masterclass. It was a beatdown. That's what it was. It was an absolute beatdown from Derek Chisora. Beat the absolute shit out of Otto Wallin. But yeah, it was a beatdown. He didn't outbox him. He didn't teach Otto Wallin a boxing lesson. Derek Chisora just constantly beat Otto Wallin down, and nothing was ever coming back at any point in the fight from Otto Wallin. So it was bloody pretty embarrassing from Otto Wallin. Let's not see him in the ring again. Like, it was embarrassing from Otto Wallin, but Derek Chisora took advantage of it. And what we know from Derek Chisora is he's a man who's always going to give it his all and always put it on you and back you up. No matter what it takes. And it showed in that 12th round as well, when Chisora was knackered. He still dropped Otto Wallin, planted him right on his arse, and what a final shot it was to land of the fight and his UK boxing career. Yeah, I think overall, yeah, he was getting under some decent shots as well, Derek Chisora, from Wallin. But Wallin was just so slow and so lazy in that fight. It was literally like, who actually thought we'd see Wallin that lazy in that fight? He could not be asked. Couldn't be asked to move his feet. When Chisora also backed himself up in the corner as well, it was literally like Wallin just did absolutely nothing apart from flick out a ridiculously sloppy jab. Like, what was Otto Wallin doing there? It was actually an absolute shambles from him. And he didn't care about what the fans wanted, Otto Wallin. Like, he did not care. At the end of the day, he didn't even try to make it an even better fight than what it was. But luckily, Chisora brought the smoke and was dominant throughout, because Wallin literally let everybody down today because he didn't, you know, make it an actual fight. So yeah, don't step in the ring again. I think, yeah, it was just but yeah, it was the volume of Derek Chisora that really got to Wallin. And, you know, Wallin didn't gas out because he didn't do anything. So it was literally impossible for him to gas out. But no, to be fair, though, I was saying before the fight as well, Chisora needs to be active in the clinch. He was very active in the clinch today. Brutally bullied Otto Wallin in that clinch. It was very good to see. Very good clinch work from Derek Chisora. And yeah, when he had Wallin up against the ropes, it was dangerous. But also as well, though, Chisora's actually better off the back foot, because I think it was both knockdowns that came from Chisora when he was actually on the back foot, and that overhand just comes out of absolutely nowhere. Like, you know, Chisora was trying to bait Wallin in when Chisora just walked off to the ropes. He was trying to bait him in, but he didn't fall for it. But eventually, he baited him in when no one, including also Wallin, was expecting it, and Chisora wins the fight. There we go. Anyway, going to end it here. Fantastic stuff from Del Boy. Delighted for him. Anyway, speak to you all in the next one.